came to Toronto a few years ago and did.
The first question you have to ask is how many species are there?
And
I used to think there were
between 2 and 12. And Apollo astronaut Edgar Mitchell came to Toronto a few years ago and had dinner with us. Agreed there was somewhere between 2 and 12.
But the latest reports that I've been getting from various sources are that there are about 80 different species. And some of them look just like us, and they could walk down the street and you wouldn't know if you walk past one. And they're
what we call the Nordic
blondes, and also the tall whites,
who are actually working
with the United States Air Force in Nevada. They're able to get away with that. They had a couple of their
ladies dressed as nuns
went to Las Vegas to shop.
They weren't detected.
And I have a friend who saw one of the men walking along the street. Somebody who would recognize
that they were different.
There are approximately 80 distinct species of extraterrestrials. One such group is referred to as the Nordic blondes, characterized by their tall stature, fair skin, and blonde hair. Greys, a species frequently depicted in popular culture. Standing just over 5 feet tall, the Greys possess slender limbs. Tall whites allegedly collaborates with the United States Air Force at facilities in Nevada. Some accounts portray extraterrestrials as compassionate guardians, intervening to prevent humanity from destroying itself through nuclear warfare or environmental degradation.
Playing around with
exotic weapons, thermonuclear weapons, atomic weapons, which have such a devastating effect both on our Earth and on other areas in the cosmos. And they don't like that.
And that's the reason they would like to work with us
to teach us better ways, but only with our consent.
Since going public with his views on UFOs, Hellier has become a magnet for stories of extraterrestrial encounters. He receives between 3 and 5 emails per week from individuals across the globe who claim to have witnessed UFOs or interacted directly with aliens. Some recount abductions aboard spacecraft, while others describe fleeting but unforgettable meetings with humanoid figures. These correspondences often include vivid descriptions of the beings themselves. According to Hellier, reports suggest that there are approximately 80 distinct species of extraterrestrials currently interacting with humanity, a number significantly higher than earlier estimates, ranging from 2 to 12 species. Among these, certain groups stand out due to their striking resemblance to humans. One such group is referred to as the Nordic blondes, characterized by their tall stature, fair skin, and blonde hair. They are said to blend seamlessly into human society, capable of walking down a busy street without drawing attention. Another subgroup, known as the Tall Whites, allegedly collaborates with the United States Air Force at facilities in Nevada. According to Hellier, members of this species have even ventured into nearby towns disguised as ordinary citizens. In one anecdote, a pair of female Tall Whites dressed as nuns reportedly shopped in Las Vegas without arousing suspicion. Contrasting sharply with these humanoid types are the infamous Greys, a species frequently depicted in popular culture. Standing just over 5 feet tall, the Greys possess slender limbs, oversized torsos, disproportionately large heads, and enormous dark eyes. Their appearance is so distinctive that encountering one would leave little doubt about its extraterrestrial origin. With such diversity among reported extraterrestrial species, a pressing question arises. Are all these visitors benevolent, or do some harbour hostile intentions? Hellier acknowledges that opinions vary widely based on individual experiences and cultural perspectives. Some accounts portray extraterrestrials as compassionate guardians, intervening to prevent humanity from destroying itself through nuclear warfare or environmental degradation. Others, however, describe more sinister motives, including abductions, experiments, and manipulation of human affairs. The truth likely lies somewhere in between, shaped by the unique agendas of each species.
Well, it's a difficult question to answer because they have different agendas.
And maybe all of us on Earth
should have the same agenda, but you couldn't say maybe that Russia and China and the United States all have the same agenda every turn because they don't.
I would say that nearly all are benign, they're benevolent, they want to help us. There may be one or two species which do not.
Draws attention to the Nordic blondes and tall whites, who many witnesses describe as peaceful and cooperative. Conversely, the Greys are often associated with abduction scenarios, leading some to view them with suspicion. However, Hellier cautions against jumping to conclusions, emphasizing that appearances can be deceiving. Just as humans exhibit a spectrum of behaviors, from altruistic acts to destructive tendencies, extraterrestrials may similarly encompass a range of moral dispositions. Paul Hellier's journey into the world of UFOs began with a personal experience that left an indelible mark on his perception of reality. It was October, during the Canadian Thanksgiving holiday 2 years prior, when Hellier and his wife decided to step outside their cottage, located about 120 miles north of Toronto, in Overlake, Muskoka. The crisp autumn air and clear night sky provided the perfect conditions for stargazing and activity. Hellier admitted he wasn't particularly fond of, but one his wife enjoyed immensely. As they stood outside admiring the celestial display, his wife pointed toward the eastern horizon, exclaiming, "There's a star." Hellier turned in the opposite direction and replied, "There's a much brighter one over here." Intrigued, both turned their attention to the object in question, watching intently as it defied every known law of physics governing celestial bodies. For nearly 20 minutes, they observed the mysterious light until their necks ached from craning upward. What made this sighting extraordinary was its behavior. Unlike any natural phenomenon Hellier had ever encountered, the object moved with remarkable agility, shifting positions in the sky by 3 or 4 degrees within just 3 or 4 seconds. He ruled out the possibility of satellites, as no known satellite could perform such maneuvers. The International Space Station 2 was not scheduled to pass overhead, and even if it were, its movement would have been far slower and more predictable. There was simply no conventional explanation for what they were witnessing. 2 nights later, Hellier returned to the dock near his cottage, settling into a comfortable chair to observe the skies once again. To his astonishment, the same object reappeared, hovering almost exactly where it had been before. It entertained him with its erratic movements, dropping suddenly, then ascending rapidly, shifting sideways, tracing circles, and returning to its original position, all at speeds that seemed astronomically fast. The object appeared as nothing more than a bright point of light, resembling a distant star, yet its dynamic behavior set it apart from anything terrestrial. Reflecting on this experience, Hellier mused about the biblical account of the Star of Bethlehem, suggesting that it might have been one of God's flying saucers.
Well, they don't want to tell us how to run our affairs. They have accepted the fact this is our planet and that we have the right to run it. But they're very, very concerned. They don't think we're good stewards of our planet. We're clear-cutting our forests, and we're polluting our rivers and our lakes, and we're dumping sewage in the oceans, and we're doing all sorts of things which are not what good stewards of their homes should be doing, and they don't like that, and they've made it very clear. As a matter of fact, they have given us a warning.
While acknowledging the speculative nature of such a comparison, he emphasized the profound impact this encounter had on his belief in the existence of advanced extraterrestrial technology. Hellier's musings on the Star of Bethlehem highlight the intersection of spirituality and ufology. Could ancient religious texts contain coded references to extraterrestrial visitations. While skeptics dismiss such interpretations as fanciful, proponents argue that advanced civilizations might have guided pivotal moments in human history under the guise of divine intervention. If true, this perspective reframes humanity's relationship with the cosmos, not as isolated beings struggling to make sense of existence, but as participants in a grand cosmic narrative involving multiple intelligent species. Such insights challenge us to reconsider the boundaries of science, faith, and philosophy. Understanding the nature of extraterrestrial life holds profound implications for humanity. If we accept that we are not alone in the universe, we must grapple with fundamental questions about our place within it. How should we respond to evidence of alien visitation? Should governments disclose classified information related to UFOs? And what responsibilities do we bear as stewards of Earth in the face of cosmic neighbors? Hellier advocates for transparency and open dialogue. By fostering collaboration between nations, scientists, and the general public, we can demystify the subject of UFOs and pave the way for peaceful coexistence with extraterrestrial civilizations. Moreover, embracing this knowledge offers opportunities for technological advancement and solutions to global challenges like climate change and resource scarcity.
They are here among us, and I'm not afraid because in most cases, as far as technology is concerned, they're light years ahead of us. And we have learned a lot of things from them. A lot of the things that we use today, we got from them. Lead lights, microchips, and Kevlar vests, and all sorts of things that we got from their technology, and we could get a lot more too, especially in the fields of medicine and agriculture, if we would go about it peacefully. But I think maybe some of our people are more interested in getting their military technology, and I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong-headed.
Paul Hellier's testimony serves as a reminder that the universe is far stranger and richer than we often assume. From his personal encounter with a UFO to the myriad accounts of alien contact shared by ordinary people worldwide, the evidence suggests that humanity is part of a broader galactic community. Whether viewed as visitors, guides, or observers, these extraterrestrial entities compel us to expand our horizons and rethink our assumptions about life, intelligence, and the cosmos. As we peer into the night sky, let us remember that the twinkling lights above may hold secrets far greater than we dare to imagine. The journey to uncover those secrets begins with curiosity, courage, and an unwavering commitment to seek the truth, no matter how unsettling or transformative it may prove to be.